Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, where the presenter finds himself in a certain degree of pain. A lifetime of dissolution has caught up with him, and he reaps the whirlwind. He is not good at it.
What? 1,000 times?
No, it's all right.
What?
No, something just occurred to me.
What?
I'm not going to. I can't tell you what it is. Sometimes that happens to me. Sometimes if something comes into my head and it's so outrageous and horrible that I can't possibly articulate it, and I just go, ah! The things that I'd love to talk about, but I can't, because I know. No disrespect to you. Who's in there today? Emma?
Emma.
You wouldn't understand.
No.
It's just, I'm just evil in a way that none of us can understand.
A man asked me last night about your teeth.
Funny you should mention that. I've got a toothache
That's
today.
what he said. He knew about it.
He knew about
He
it?
says, what about his teeth? I said, is he still having trouble with the toothache or something?
Well, I had a terrible nightmare weekend. Of course, I don't complain about it because, I'm never without a pain. And God has decided to punish me by making me pain, giving me pain all the time. I don't know what it is, but I've learned to thole it. I can keep a stiff upper lip. You wouldn't know I was in pain looking at me. Look at me this morning
You're
laughing.
a bit old for toothache.
What do you mean? You're never too old for a toothache.
Yes, you are.
You're never too old for
There
it.
comes a time when you don't have toothache anymore.
Have you reached that stage?
Well, I haven't had toothache in, I would say, 30 years.
Have you any teeth?
Yeah.
Are they your own teeth?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You don't wear them out? That's because you don't do anything. You don't do anything to wear them out.
Are you not, seriously, you're not too old for...
I am not too old. I wish I was too old because I have an abscess. I had to go to an emergency dentist on Saturday morning. An emergency dentist. I had to find out where, there's people kind of administering to people with toothache on Saturday morning. Did you know that? It's a very valuable thing. Because you know the way years ago on a Friday night, if you found you had a toothache, I'm going to have to throw this day Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But those days are gone.
They've gone long.
But I didn't know that. I didn't know. I haven't been afflicted
You want to
with...
get out more.
Uh-huh. I don't want to be I hadn't been afflicted with a toothache on a Friday for a long time. Any toothache I had, maybe a Tuesday, Wednesday, that's okay. Just coincidentally, it acted up on me. Suddenly I went, oh, oh, oh. And that was me having a toothache. Do you want to do that again?
No.
Go on, let me do it again. Oh, oh. That's me having a toothache. And then I went along and they put stuff on it. And they said, we're going to give you some antibiotics. You've got an abscess. So it means that I can't get anything done until I finish the course of my antibiotics. I won't be finished until Wednesday. So I can't go to the dentist until Wednesday. So I go through this agony. Look at the agony I'm in. Coitus interruptus, old before his time, is fast approaching death. Middle-aged at 30, elderly at 40. He has now prematurely reached the terminus. It was a quick journey, but relatively painless. His system closes down as we speak.
Last night,
Uh-huh.
I was sitting at home, alone, and I was television off, and I was reading some newspapers. And you know the way when you finish a section of the newspaper, you drop it onto the floor,
I don't do that, but you do.
and then
okay.
you drop, and you're finished. You drop that one on the floor, and then you start another one, and you would, and then you end up with a pile of newspapers on the floor.
Yes.
Well, I decided then, before I went up the wooden hill, I would tidy up.
The wooden hill being your stairs.
Yes.
I have to translate for the people who don't know what a wooden hill is.
Right?
Yes.
And as I bent down, my two legs shot out. My knees separated.
For the first time in years. This is a sign that,
And I shot up immediately, and I said, I need to stop that. And I bent down again, keeping my legs close together.
And you found you couldn't do it.
I did. No, I could do it all right. But just that moment, that's what we were talking about last week.
It's a good job there was no one there to observe this.
Exactly.
I'm glad I wasn't there to see your legs separate for the first time. Anyway, listen, let us tell the people what's going on today. This is a radio programme. This has been a very special day, the 12th of July. Everyone is fled. So there'll be nothing happening today. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 084...
Apparently, before I have to stop you because it's important.
Could you hear me giving the phone
No,
number?
but it's important. That's why I stop you. I wouldn't do this. This is a deliberate interruption.
Donegal is full of people.
No, this is deliberate interruption.
Well,
And it's from Val.
right.
Val says, tell Jerry he's in and out like a yo-yo with his sound.
Am I?
So it's important that you get your yo-yo sorted out.
My yo-yo's fine.
Where's Ken? Bring him in.
He's probably getting his haircut, what little there is left of it. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Look at me. The microphone is in front of me.
According to Val,
Well, I'm
like
sorry.
a yo-yo.
The presenter expresses curiosity about Coronation Street. Alarmed by reports of plummeting viewership, he decides to check out the well-loved soap of his childhood. I think I witnessed Coronation Street jumping the shark last night, and it involved a particular scene with Audrey, as you know, is Gail's mother.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Audrey met this boyfriend who turned out to be a transvestite, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And she went to see him because she had a date with him, and he opened the door and he was dressed exactly the same as she was. And the two of them were just identical. Same hair, same clothes.
That's a Ronnie Barker sketch.
It was a sketch. But they took it seriously. And she was saying, oh, I didn't expect to find you like this. I said, I'm sorry, darling. It's the way I am. And they stood and they talked for a long time, and I said, shark has just been jumped.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see anything unusual in it. And they didn't realise that it looked hilarious. They didn't realise that they looked like each other. That what she should have said, oh, you just look like me. That's what she should have said, but she didn't. She went, oh, she went all serious.
But did they not jump the shark years ago when a man who owns a shop discovered that his wife used to be a man?
I don't think that was shark jumping, no, because that's the thing that could happen.
Right.
Yeah, but see, it was the actual... See, that was done very tastefully. That was the man in the shop, in the cafe.
Oh.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Anyway, I can't remember. Yeah. And your woman. Well, you see, that was tastefully done because it gradually became clear that she was a man. But, you know, you didn't laugh at that. You didn't laugh at that, but you had to laugh at that last night because it looked silly.
It
looked silly.
Funny. Yeah.
It looked silly, just. It wasn't funny because it's not funny about it, really, because transvestitism is a problem.
It sounds like a Ronnie Barker.
It does.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
It was deliberately, unwittingly funny.
Yes.
The people who wrote it didn't realise that it was hilarious. I'm sitting going, oh, for God's sake, these people aren't laughing. They're taking this seriously. Anyway, a woman has lost a cat.
There's a wee call.
Is there? It just all happens, doesn't it, the one time? Air travel is now so fraught with difficulty that only the hardy and the uninsultable will embark upon it. The airports are populated by people who seem determined to make every traveller's life a misery, and worse, give every appearance of enjoying every minute of it.
Getting on the plane. We were the last two on the plane. And the wee girl looked at it and she says, Joan. And she picked up the phone. She said, I better talk to my supervisor. I said, I've got a Joan call here, but and I'm busy saying, look, it's the same name. It's, you know,
Irish
all that business.
Yeah. They don't know.
You bought? Has it got any other identification with John on it? Have you any other identification with John on it? And I says no. And then my wife says, yes, hold on. I had the European insurance. You know that wee card? I think it's
European insurance?
I don't know. No, that wee card. European something. You get a wee card if you get take sick or something.
You've got a card that allows you to take sick in Europe?
Aye.
And you must get one of those.
And you don't pay. That's something. Some sort of a wee European
insurance
card. All right. Yeah. And that was John. Sorry, Emma? E11, that's it.
E11. You've an E11?
Yeah. And
so organised.
And so my wife is so organised. So she produced this. She says, there you are. And she says, he's got an E11. It's John. And then, okay, you can go. And he says, but listen, next time I'm going to charge you.
Bitch.
And I walked in and I said, no, you're not.
Did you?
I did.
You're cheeky.
Oh, I did.
It's wonder she never called you back and beat you around the kidneys.
I
with
said,
a
no,
rubber
I'm
truncheon.
not. I was so angry at them. You know what I mean? So, and there was some man who was held back. I don't know what it was, but there was steam coming out of his ears, and he was writing a check out for something. I don't know what it was, but it wouldn't let him on either.
He had to get one of the things that they do, and I don't particularly accuse EasyJet of doing that, but I have been caught a couple of times, whereby they try and get money off you just before you get on the plane because you've no time to get back. That's the latest kind of scam thing. But the best one ever occurred to me was in where was it, Lanzarote or something? I went into the airport last couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was no air conditioning in the airport for some reason, and it was like 85 degrees. And it was 85 degrees outside, but it was hotter inside because it was full of people. And I'm standing queuing up, you see. And the gravy's running out of me. Like, really, I'm sweating like a pig. And I'm wearing a shirt, so I opened up my shirt, right? And I went up and I checked in. I went in through the thing. And the girl said to me, she said, but please button your shirt. I said, excuse me? She said, button your shirt, please. I said, why? And she went, I'm telling you to button your shirt. I said, why? And I was very close to it. And then I realised that you have to button your shirt. Of course, There is no need to travel abroad, nor even to leave your own home. The simulated holiday is upon us, and not before time. I just thought of a cunning plan for a cheap holiday, said Michelle. My husband and I are off for the next fortnight. Rather than spending a fortune, we're going to stay at home, but pretend we're staying in a hotel. Is that a good idea? For start, I'm going to clean out the bedroom so the drawers and wardrobes are completely empty. This means throwing out clothes and shoes that we haven't worn for years, but kept just in case. There will, of course, be a Gideon's Bible in one drawer. A lot of people would be pleased to hear that. And I'll bring the kettle into the bedroom with cups and saucers. And sachets of coffee that taste like dirt. Not forgetting UHT milk. We will have the heating on constantly full blast to make sure the window does not open. Every morning at about 6:30 a.m, my daughter will ignore the Do Not Disturb sign on our door and knock anyway. We'll tell her to go away. 10 minutes later, my son will knock on the door saying, "I clean your room, sir." We will tell him to go away too. Don't worry, I'll pay them the minimum wage. They will make sure to tramp about for the next 4 hours, banging walls, turning the Hoover on and off. I'm looking forward to my break.
It's a call on too.
Oh, you're terrible.
I know.
Hello, good morning.
That's a great idea.
Isn't that a great idea? I like the thing about not being able to open the window.
I watched a young man being very, very angry at the airport, and I was that man.
But you see, this is one of the things I have to advise people. Please do not. Now, for instance, there's a lot of people who don't travel much. Now, for people like I travel a lot, and so you travel a fair bit.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. I didn't like to say you didn't travel.
I know.
So anyway, the thing is, what you have to remember is this. There is no point whatsoever in getting angry in an airport.
I hear a bird.
A Londonderry bird. I hear a bird, a Londonderry bird. There's no point getting angry at an airport because they will always get you in the end.
This youth lost it completely.
I see, he will never get anywhere.
Right? And he'll
end up at home in a taxi.
He was going abroad. And he had all his suntan lotions and all that stuff, you see, and they were taking them off him, and he was ripping up in the bag, and they told him to put them in the container, but he was throwing them, firing them into the container. Do you want this one too? He says, and he threw it in. What about this one too? And he threw, and she just stood looking at him.
Yeah, because they know
and
that they'll get him.
And I said to myself, son, I was you. But stop it.
You're going nowhere, kid.
Calm down.
She was just waiting for the point where she said to him, "I'm going to ring the police now."
And I was standing. Now, all I had to put, no, your wee tray, your wee black tray. Do you know what I had to put in the black tray? My belt. The belt of my trousers was the only thing I had. I had no money. I had no car, nothing on, no watch, nothing. I put the belt in the tray, and I was standing there, and I was walking away, and she shouted, "Shoes!" I says, "What?" "Shoes!" I didn't know. And I looked at my wife, and the wife says, "She wants you to take off your shoes." You know what I mean? Just shoes.
I never do that. Do you know how to avoid that? You just never look at them. Never look at them.
I was walking away from her.
No, but you must have caught her eye. Never catch their eyes. This is the trick. Whenever you're going, don't look at them at all. Pretend as if they're not there, and they won't say anything to you because they'll be a wee bit afraid of you. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.